Hi, I'm Carol.
And I'm Jennifer, and we are birds of a feather who knit together.
And today we are sitting in front of the yarn wall at Jennifer's shop. The yarns are all arranged by color because we feel as though it inspires people more.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about today the same thing that we talked about in our first podcast.
And thanks for watching the last one. We really appreciate it.
And we got a lot of comments as well. We replied to all our comments. They were mostly very positive. In fact, they were all positive. And the constructive criticism we've taken to heart. And we already knew a few things that we had done wrong. So hopefully this one will be better in the editing and filming department.
It's learning.
Yeah.
We're just learning right now.
Steep learning curve.
Yes.
But we do know about knitting.
That's right. That's why we're here. We like to share that with you.
So today I am wearing a hemp scarf that came from Beet Street. It's a kit and it's called Living Color. And the hemp is called Piega. It's 100% hemp.
It's lovely. So soft.
It really is.
Blocks well.
Yeah. And the scarf was knitted long ways with a lot of stitching.
Yeah.
There we go.
You can see it easier.
Okay. So you start at one end, just a little bit of shaping here at the end. And then
so fun.
Bind off and cast back on with the next color. Mm-hmm. So fun to knit. It's a very sort of rusticy looking, uneven knit. It's supposed to be. It's got a little bit of slubbiness in the hemp, and it was just it was a really easy thing to knit. And I was on a long car journey, and so it was a good thing to do. This is the kit, and it comes in several different colorways. There we go. It was catching the light a little bit. That's the only downside of this spot with finding the light is a bit of a problem. Okay, is that upside down? Oh. There we go.
Hey. It's a lovely yarn to work with, and they come in other kits as well with different forms of scarves and
there's
such.
Another
different colorways for each one.
And then this one is another one by the same company. And there's a lot of detail in that, as you can see. But see, like these squiggles, for instance, that's just the yarn doing that. So you've got a nice straight piece, plain piece. You've got a fun lace bit, and then you move on to the garter stitch at the edges. And you're using 4 different yarns. There's two of them are 100% silk. One is a cotton silk mixture, and one is the same hemp that is in this one.
It's so nice. And they're lovely, especially in Savannah, where it's been so warm lately.
Yes, that's why I decided to wear this today rather than wearing a sweater, because it's still pretty warm.
Winter's coming, so we've got to get ready to start knitting for winter, which is kind of what I'm wearing right now. It is a cardigan. We last summer all decided in our knit group to make a Christmas sweater, and everyone chose a different design, different yarns, all sorts of things. And so for that time, I decided to try steeking for the first time with my friend Carol here's help. And the yarn, the name of it is called the Festive Yoke Cardigan. It is by Skein Deer Knits. And I used the yarn, which is Blue Sky Woolstok Light. Left me for a moment there. Really toothy kind of feeling yarn. The pattern was really fun. You can kind of see how it carried your floats behind and everything. And it's kind of cropped, just to show you a little bit of the croppiness of it. And it was a lot of fun to make. I'm inspired. I'm ready for winter. I'm ready for a little Christmas and bringing on the sweaters again. So that's what I'm wearing today.
And this yarn is excellent for steeking because of that sticky toothiness that it has to it. So it doesn't want to back out when you're finished.
I have to say it was the first one, so I needed a little extra help on that.
Yes, and it was a little nerve-wracking. Yeah. And we have a short video of when we were doing that, which I'm going to post to the channel as well. And then while we're talking about steeking, this is the other project, and this is the Flagship vest by Espace Tricot. And I was going to wear it, and then I decided, partly because of the heat, not to wear it so that I could show what we had done with the steeking. So this was knitted from the bottom up and in a tube, and then you cast on some stitches in the middle of the neck here. Well, you bind off the front of the neck, and then you cast stitches on again, and then you make a steek here as well. So like these two little neck pieces are steek. So it looks really weird when it's all kind of bunched up. And then once you're finished, you cut those two steeks.
Oh, yeah, you cut the arms as well as the neck. I'm just going to move it a little close so you can see the design and the patterning.
And then if we turn the steek inside out, you can see that row of crochet going up there. So after I'd finished doing the knitting, I did that crochet. You do like a little checkerboard or stripes in that steek area so that it's kind of marked and you can see exactly where to cut. And I won't go into like the entire detail because again, we have a short video when we were actually doing this. And it's definitely a very visual thing. It's so much easier to understand if you see it.
It's definitely a visual thing for me.
This is the yarn, and this is just so wonderful. This yarn. It's by West Yorkshire Spinners Pure, and it is 100% Falkland wool. Falkland wool is the whitest, softest, smoothest wool in the world, and this sweater can definitely be worn next to the skin. It's so smooth and soft. West Yorkshire Spinners, interesting fact, I used to live in West Yorkshire, so I wish they'd been there when I lived there.
And you knew about it, right?
It's really, because their yarn is wonderful. We'll be talking about them again in future shows because we've knitted other things that have been amazing. So this yarn comes in 16 colors. So you've got a great choice for color work like this. And as you can see, it sits very nice and smoothly once it's been.
All right, go on. You have to get it right along that stitch.
This is definitely probably something not necessary. To do with a friend, though. It is. The edge looks nice.
It does. Right, let me hold.
Super cool. So when does it stay?
It's almost like it's so great.
It is. We need a doctorate.
Why does it?
I did a row of crochet chain up each side, which is what is turning over the ends as we go. Yep. Oops, sorry.
Stabber.
Ooh, what's that?
Get that out of the way.
Okay. I'll look on the other side and go.
Difficult to see.
Yeah, it's getting trickier now.
Here we go. Here we go. It's gonna be voila. Un momento. There's an opening on the end, right?
Yeah, I did like a little bind off.
It looks so good, Carol. Yay.
And these things, we are definitely much more inclined now to steek things, and I would change a pattern if I didn't want to knit back and forth. Then I would be perfectly happy to just steek it now.
You're still so brave. It is fun though. It's like it makes the pattern easier to knit with color work. I think that's why it was designed originally.
Yeah, it was designed by the Norwegians and Scandinavians because of their very heavily color work patterns. You just couldn't. You would lose your mind trying to follow a pattern because obviously when you're on the back side, you have to read the pattern backwards and switch the colors in your head. It's very difficult to knit back and forth. So if you're going to do it for an entire sweater, you just have to steek just to save your sanity.
Sounds good to me.
And choose the right yarn. That's the key.
Yeah,
choose the right yarn.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest comment on that one.
Yep.
Well, we also have another completed project from last week. I think I talked a little bit about my sweater cardigan, which is called Petra, and it's now blocked and ready to wear. And this one was done, probably should try it on, but I love the sleeve length. The sleeve length is just right for me. And it's the greatest color, but this one was done in the Remix Light. The point is, it's now finished. So that's my completed option for today. And then we also have a shop sample that we're getting a lot of attention right now. And it was made by our friend Kat. It's a crocheted wrap, and the name of it is Chantel. It's by Kim Hargraves. It's a Rowan pattern, which is now available on Ravelry. Previously, it was only found in a book. So this is now available. And the yarn that is used is one of our favorites. Everyone loves the good old Rowan Kid Silk Haze, and it comes in a million different colors. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Kid Silk Haze. It is tiny, it is a little fidgety, but the silk in it is really nice to work with. And for a crochet sample, can't go wrong. So we're really excited about having this in the shop to show, and there'll be options to purchase your own colors on the website. Also, our friends Kim and Kat have a vlog as well. It's all about books. It's called Kim and Kat Read a Book. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll pop right up if you do a search, and we'll put a link. We can put a link in our
learning how to do that.
Slow going, but we are trying to do those things that we're learning new from scratch on how to make videos and how to make a blog. Anyway, so Kim and Kat will be talking about their next one. Are going to be talking about the book that our book club is reading at the moment, which is called 3 Bags Full. And I can't remember who the author is, though. Leonie Swan. That's right. And it's translated from German. So they'll tell you all the details, though. And I'm actually listening to it simply because sometimes I like to listen to a story. And this one is set in Ireland. And the lady who reads it on Audible has an Irish accent. So it's perfect. It's so much fun. I'm really enjoying listening to it.
And then you can knit or crochet while you're listening to the book. You don't have to
put
it down and choose one over the other. But that's something sort of spontaneous that happened in our knitting and crochet group on a Saturday. We were all talking about what we're reading. And then all of a sudden we were like, well, why aren't we all reading the same book and come together to talk about it? So we've read 4 books, I think, at this point. So it's sort of new, but it's a lot of fun. And on one of our pages of our website, you can see a link to the books that we're reading and some of our local shops that you can purchase from to get those books. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
What do you have that's finished?
And then next is works in progress. So I think I've shown all the finish. So works in progress. So, well, there's a story behind the work in progress because on our first podcast, I showed you the sweater from the 12 Sweaters of Festive book, and I had only got one sleeve left to do. So I knitted away on the sleeve happily. It was a rib, 2x4 rib, and I got to about here, and I realized that I was a whole repeat of the rib pattern short, which meant a whole 6 stitches. So it felt tighter on my arm. So I had read the wrong size. Usually I circle all the way through the pattern, all the way through. And yes. I don't know whether I forgot to circle that one or whether I just wasn't paying attention. Anyway, so the whole sleeve had to be ripped out. So I immediately did it because that's the only way. And then I picked up the stitches because I don't enjoy doing that. And then I put it in the naughty bin. So it'll come out in a few days, weeks. No, it'll come out in a few days because winter's coming. Winter's coming. So then, to cheer myself up, I cast on a new project. And this is the new project. It is Sabai top, and it is by Espace Tricot.
We simply like them, don't we?
Yes, we do like them. So I like the way they did this little.
I do too.
Cast. So you cast on the back, and you basically you increase. Sorry, we're in a different position from last time. You keep increasing to make your little shoulder, and then you knit down the back and then knit down the front, join together. And then the way that the armholes are done, you've got a nice little piece of rib here.
Tailoring.
And it tells you how to do the edge. So you get this lovely edge that's really sharp looking. And then you won't have anything to pick up at the end, which is nice.
And it's done in Iris, which is a Berroco yarn. It's cotton, bamboo, merino, and yak. So it's got all the good stuff.
It has. And it feels really nice.
It's a little bit of hopefully I held that long enough.
I think it says it's a worsted weight.
Gotcha.
But I think that because it has the cotton and wool mix, I think it'll be nice for. It's still hot here.
It feels so
I'll be able to.
soft. It's
Yes, it's very soft, very nice to
against the
work with.
skin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another one that's very smooth. Yes, I'm very fond of Berroco yarns at the moment. So that is my work in progress.
Well, I have the same blanket that I was working on previously. It's just strips and strips and strips, which is a lot of fun. And I think I mentioned last time that I got a little bogged down in the color choices. This is out of Felted Tweed by Rowan. So to try to make some sense of it all, I did a little graph and chose a color marker to make sure that I didn't have repeats in the same row across, because my mind kept putting the same colors together because apparently that's what I liked. And I wanted it to kind of be more random than it was so that they didn't hit together. So that was my solution to try to fix that problem. And I have been enjoying it. It's a good one, like I said last time, to knit as you talk and visit with people. So if you're looking for a baby blanket, you can make it out of multiple types of yarns. It doesn't have to be this particular brand. But this one I liked because it had so many options for the colors. And they all kind of go together too. So that's what I'm still working on. We're getting lots of new yarns coming, so I'm waiting really to start a new project. So hopefully next week I'll have something else on the needles to talk about.
I'm still knitting my Arnie and Carlos socks. They've just kind of gone into the background because I've really been enjoying knitting the
You've
Sabai.
been finishing so much.
Well, that's the other thing. I haven't knitted as much this week on new things because, well, for a start, I wasted all that time. But also, I have finished a couple of things. I finished a baby sweater for somebody, and I'm working on a couple of mendings, which are very challenging. One of them's garter stitch with a multicolored yarn, which is challenging.
She fixes everything. She blocks everything for us. She is the go-to person in the shop for things that need to be fixed.
Yes. And
So-
if I fix anything interesting, then I post photos on my Ravelry feed. So we've got links in the description for both of our Ravelries, and we're really trying to keep those up to date. So if we mention projects and you don't quite catch what we say, or I will be putting, one of the suggestions was that I put labels on the screen. So I've learned how to do that. And but we keep all the details are in our Ravelry accounts too. So you can always sign in and look at us there.
Well, what podcast are you watching lately?
So podcasts, well, Soph Knits Daily, my favorite. She made another episode this week. They have crossed from Norway into Sweden, and then they're crossing Denmark and Germany. And she was knitting something. She was working on a different project in each country, trying to finish up lots of works in progress. Yes. So she talked about quite a few things, and that was really cool. And then I've been watching a lot of podcasts on how to make a podcast.
Okay, well, that's important. It's been very helpful because you've done a great job with that part. So I've been watching so many things, but there was one recently I watched this morning called Allie Marie Brown. And she lives, I think it's Oregon that she lives, but she and her partner have a couple of houses. And one of them is in the woods, deep in the woods with no running water, no electricity, any of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like homesteading and what she creates, but she's an herbalist as well. So she tries to grow everything and make everything. And I think I originally found her because she was crocheting something and it caught my eye, and it's so beautiful. Like the scenery is amazing. And I just sort of followed them from then. Her boyfriend or partner has a podcast called Trout and Stream, I think it's called. And it's neat to watch both of them because it's one perspective from her and one perspective from him and how they fix their homestead up and all. So that's the one I've been binging at the moment. It's been fun.
We've had to stay inside a bit this week because the weather's been...
It's been a bit rainy. And when it rains downtown and the water's already the soil's already saturated, it just floods. So nobody wants to drive or walk around.
We're at sea level. And this is one of the perils of living at sea level, is that everything floods because we hear it rains. It's torrential.
Thunder and lightning, which is
Yes.
great. I love thunder.
Yes.
It's funny that there's so many people will come in the store and make a comment about it thunders here so often. And I guess just growing up in Georgia, I'm used to hearing all of that thunder. But I guess if you don't hear it often, it is a bit.
We get some really cool like black skies too, when the sky is jet black and the sun is still shining.
The sunsets have been amazing right now.
Yes.
And red and orange and very inspirational.
Dramatic.
Well,
Very
do we have any
dramatic.
other goodies to share today? Or
I think we're done with all the knitting projects.
we had a couple of questions about the wall previously behind us. We had some baby things on it, and I think we're going to do just a separate one about all of the baby stuff that we have samples for in the store, because there's always a phase in life where you're going to be knitting for a baby, and they're fun, quick projects. So look for that one really soon. But other than that, thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate you coming back for a second time if you did, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe.